यूथ बैठी है, मैं इंग्लिश में कर देता हूँ, बोलना हो जाए। और मैं अल्लिमू औलादकुम हुब्बा नबिय्यिकुम। Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, teach your children the love of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Teach them how to love him, how to give him reverence, how to be attached with this personality. Why is it important that we teach our children the love of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because this is ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. Allah said, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ وَأَمْوَالٌ اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا وَتِجَارَةٌ تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادَهَا وَمَسَاكِنُ تَرْضَوْنَهَا أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَجِهَادٍ فِي سَبِيلِهِ فَتَرَبَّصُوا حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Prophet, let them know, tell these people that if your parents, your children, your brethren, your spouses, your tribes, your wealth, your businesses that you feel a loss in, your homes where you reside, if all these valuable items are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger and the struggling in the way of Allah, then just wait for the punishment of Allah. It is not something voluntary or mustahab. This is the essence of our iman. If we have no love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it means we don't have any iman. And the Sahaba, they knew this secret. You know Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, what would he do at night? When he would come after praying Isha at home, cuddle himself up in the corner of his house and begin to cry. His wife asked, why are you crying? He said, I'm missing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then his wife would say, don't worry, Fajr is close. Then he would have some comfort. And one day, the son of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he expressed a dislike towards a particular food. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, how dare you to dislike that food which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to like. And Sahaba, they have the connection with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, she said, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated from Makkah to Medina, when he migrated from Makkah to Medina, one night we were at home and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he felt strange. He felt strange and he called out, Ala rajulin yahrusunul layla, is there anybody who will come and protect me? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he felt strange one night. Why? Because he lived 54 years in Makkah. That was where he was born. That was where he had a children. That was where he was married. That was where his parents and grandparents got from. When he migrated from Makkah to Medina, so he felt strange. And he calls out, is there anybody who will come and protect me? Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala said, a while past, we heard that someone is storming to our door. And it seems like he was fully dressed in a warfare gear. He had his armor on and he's marching towards door. And suddenly somebody knocked the door. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Man, who is that? He said, so and so from your companion. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked, Ma ja'a bik? What have brought you here in the middle of night at my house? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I was sitting at my home and suddenly something struck my heart and said, go and protect the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as soon as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam uttered these words, so at the same time these words struck his companions. So this was the love which the Sahaba had. And when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he passed on, you know, the Sahaba, it wasn't an easy time on the Sahaba. And Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, it wasn't an easy time for Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Why? Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who was a Bilal? He was a black African slave, who the people of Makkah gave no regard to, but the arm of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam embraced him. And the time came on the conquest of Makkah, when Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, oh Bilal, go and say adhan, Bilal radiallahu ta'ala came and asked, Ya Rasulullah, where should I go and say adhan? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Bilal, today you go on the roof of the Kaaba and say adhan, so the people, Quraysh of Makkah, who gave no regard to you, today they will realize that the feet of the Bilal are higher than their heads today. That was Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. When Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he saw that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away, he couldn't stay in Madinatul Munawwara. Because everything in Madinatul Munawwara, it would remind him the relation between him and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he left Madinatul Munawwara and went to Sham al-Sharif. And he lived rest of his life there. But one night when he was asleep, and he sees the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Ma hadha al-liqaya Bilal? What is this harshness, O Bilal? You haven't come to see us for a long time. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala wakes up and jumps on his animal, and he doesn't stop until he reaches to Madinatul Munawwara. When he gets to Madinatul Munawwara, all the people of Medina, they were so happy. Because when he saw Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, all they are happy and they embraced him, and all of them, they had one request. And they said, Oh Bilal, please say adhan which you used to say in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, he rejected, he denied. He said, I can't say that adhan because when I used to say that adhan, I used to see. When I say Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, I used to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in front of my eyes. If I say adhan and I will not see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I won't be adhan. But the Sahaba, they were so intelligent. They know if the Bilal is saying no to us, but there is somebody who he will not say no to. They went to the grandchildren of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asked them to ask Bilal to say adhan, which he used to say in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, both of them, they went to Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu and said salam and asked, Oh Bilal, please say that adhan which you used to say in the time of our grandfather. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, out of respect and in humbleness, he stood up and he started adhan and said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The people of Medina, they shook. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They came out of their houses, of their markets. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. The people of Medina, they yelled, Abu Isa Rasulullah. Abu Isa Rasulullah. Has the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam been resurrected from his grave? The power of Bilal's adhan was such that the people thought that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had been resurrected from his grave. When he said, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, he burst out in cries and he couldn't complete his adhan and he fell to the ground and went back to the Sham al-Sharif, and then he lived rest of his life. But on his deathbed, he was so happy. And he said, Wa farhata, Wa farhata, this is the day of my joy. His wife said, Wa huzna, this is a sorrow day. This is a day of sorrow. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, Uskuti, be quiet. She said, Oh Bilal, your whole life was strange and your death is strange too. Because you are going to die and you said, Wa farhata, this is the day of my joy. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Ghadan alkal ahibba, Muhammadan wa sahba. Tomorrow once I die, I will meet my Prophet Muhammad and his companions sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To teach your children the love of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.